everyone, and welcome to day 19 of Vlogmas. I actually have the countdown this time. To round out my videos about books, I have one of my normal book reviews. So I realized that I had been doing a lot of fiction reviews, which is because I read mostly fiction books. So I decided to go ahead and do a nonfiction review because I had a couple nonfiction books to read. I'm gonna go in the order in which I read these. So first I read On Writing by Stephen King. This is probably one of the best books I could ever recommend to you. It's not even really like super heavy on writing instruction. Stephen King is the kind of person that's like, they'll tell you to do this in writing classes, but do it the way you want to do it. More than half of this book is Stephen King's life and how he got into writing, but the second half is more writing instruction, still going back to how he takes that kind of instruction and uses it to his advantage and how he would suggest other writers doing the same. Yeah, this book actually made me like a fan of Stephen King, and I really want to read Carrie especially. He focuses a lot on writing Carrie throughout this book. This is another book that I have talked about in another video during Vlogmas. But next I read We're Going to Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union, who just like, look at this gorgeous woman. I actually have a paperback because I got the advanced reader copy from work. It's wonderful, it's so beautifully written and so honest and detailed and heartbreaking at times. I mean, it's Gabrielle Union talking about her life as a black woman and an actress struggling with, you know, being black in the industry and sexual assault, dealing with a divorce, dealing with her parents' divorce. It's her life. She talks about working on Bring It On and how she like did a lot of work for her character. When she got there, Isis was really just a black stereotype, and she worked with the director and the writers to make her a person. If you're into celebrity memoirs like I am, or just, you know, Gabrielle Union, I definitely suggest this book. After that, I read Buffering by Hannah Hart, who I have a huge crush on. This book is not at all what I expected, but in a good way. I don't want to say that Hannah's life was more tragic or whatever than I expected, because while it was, that kind of diminishes this book and Hannah down to very simplified versions of themselves. I think a better way to say it is just that I came away from this book understanding how complex a person's life can be, how complex feelings and contradictory feelings about certain things can be. Those are all things that I've like gripped with throughout my life, but definitely have like a grounded example of after reading Buffering. Again, if you're into celebrity memoirs or YouTubers, Hannah Hart especially, obviously, I do suggest this. And the last book that I'm gonna talk about today is actually from another YouTuber. Yeah, the last one is Everything is Awful and Other Observations by Matt Bellassai. You should recognize him from the series, I think it's called To Be Honest now, but when he was with BuzzFeed, it was called Wine About It. He drinks a whole glass of wine, bottle of wine, something like that, and just complains about things in the middle of the day. That's basically what this book is. This book is so funny. Matt is Matt Bellassai. I don't really know what else to say about this except that I liked it. I did enjoy it a lot. If you're into comedic memoirs, I definitely suggest Everything is Awful. So those were the last 4 nonfiction books that I have recently read. I'm back into a fiction kick because I just can't help myself. I actually read Turtles All the Way Down in the middle of all of that, but I didn't want to review it with these because I specifically read these in bulk so that I could do a nonfiction review. So this is where you guys are gonna come in. I'm gonna name a bunch of books that I just have waiting for me to read, and I need you to tell me what you would like to see in a review together. Leave like 3 or 4 books in one comment that you would like to see me review together. I do have Around the Way Girl by Taraji P. Henson, and I also got another arc from work that is called This Will Be My Undoing by Morgan Jerkins, and she's a black feminist who wrote a memoir. So I've got 2 from women of color that I would love to read soon. I'm currently in the middle of The Hate You Give. I've also got The Girls by Emma Cline, Razor Girl by Carl Hyacin, and Eligible by Curtis Sittenfeld. I've also got this gorgeous Miles Morales book by Jason Reynolds, who is a Coretta Scott King award-winning author. I also just bought The Sun and Her Flowers and Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I think that's how you say her name. I'm really sorry if I'm not saying it right. I also have The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace, which I'm also currently reading. And then I got Moxie by Jennifer Matu, which Angel reviewed a little bit in our curating a TBR video. She's also, you know, pushed that book on me for like as long as I've known her, basically. Cinder by Marissa Mayer and Just Visiting by Dahlia Adler. The next book review won't be until 2018, next year, probably March or April. It just depends on how fast I end up reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. In the comments below, let me know, once again, what you would like to see in the next book review. Also, let me know if you have read or would like to read any of the books that I talked about in this video, because I love talking about books, and also, they're all really good. If you have any Stephen King recommendations, definitely leave those in the comments. I know Kathy will. If you're not already subscribed to The Princess and the Scrivener, please do so down below, especially if you would like to see more videos on Disney, intersectional feminism, pop culture critiques, Vlogmas, and more. The Scrivener will see you tomorrow.